Hello guys, welcome back to sanvfx. Today in this lesson we'll be looking into FumeFX and Krakatoa. Here is a quick example created using FumeFX and Krakatoa. Oops, sorry. Okay. These glows were later on added into After Effects, but other particles are rendered using Krakatoa. So first of all, we'll be using FumeFX to create our fluid simulation. Then we'll convert it into particles using pflow, and finally we'll render it using Krakatoa. So let's begin. We'll just play around with some random stuff just to demonstrate this technique. Okay, first of all, let me create a quick FumeFX container, really big one. Okay, let me position it into the origin. Okay, let me increase the height up. And width I think will be fine. Height a bit more width as well. Okay, length will be fine. Then I'll create a simple source. FumeFX simple source. I don't want too big. Okay, I think this will be fine. And okay, maybe around like here. Okay, now let me add my simple source to my FumeFX. Then let's do a quick preview, just a basic preview. So let's stop it. It's working. Then we'll go to Gene tab. I want to lower the spacing maybe up to 1. I think that'll do fine. And let me set an output path. Cache default, maybe to it. Let me delete all these previous data. I guess I cannot save them. Okay, let me just override them. Okay. Then I don't want to export any smoke, any fuel, so I'll just turn off the fuel. I'll be just emitting smoke only. And let me just play around with some random values. Cubic interpolation, gravity, no, verticity 1, turbulence maybe 1.2. 10 scale, fine detail. Okay, that's pretty good. Let me go to temperature and bump this up to about 800. Okay, so let's do another quick preview. Okay, so we are getting some nice flowing smoke. Okay, but this is not what we want. We don't want our smoke to rise up, but we want our smoke to move this way. So for that we'll be using a gravity from our FumeFX helper. So under helpers, FumeFX gravity. Okay, create this one, and then I want to rotate it and point this arrow just opposite of the direction where I want my simulation to go on. So I pointed this way, so that means our smoke will rise this way. Also I'll be adding a wind as well, so that we'll get a bit more turbulence and a bit more pushing our smoke. And let me bump the strength up to 10, turbulence maybe 3, frequencies 2. Okay, I guess that'll be fine. Okay, let's add them to our FumeFX as well, this one and this one as well. So now let's do our sim. Okay, now we can see that the smoke is rising this way. Okay, that's looking cool. Since we are converting these into particles, we don't need to do a very high resolution sim. I think this much will be pretty fine. So let's do up to 100 frames and then we'll continue again. Okay, just 33 frames. Let me just stop it right here because we have a few steps left to do. So here is the quick preview on what it looks like. Just a random stuff. It looks pretty good. Okay, so let me close this and okay, no. What I want to do next is I want to export a additional channel called velocity. So we need this channel compulsory if we want to convert our simulation into particles, so that our particles can follow this velocity data and to move along with our simulation. Okay, so after doing that, let us sim back again. Just half of the simulation, about 53, and so we'll stop it right here. It's just for demonstration, so we don't need to go ahead completely. So let me just put my time 1953 as well. Okay, so now here is our smoke, what it looks like. Okay, the next thing, we'll now convert this into particles, so we don't need this FumeFX anymore. Now we'll create our PF source. You can also create it from particle system and PF source, or you can just press the 6 key to get the particle view and create it manually. So let me right click, new, particle system, and empty flow. So now we get this PF source right in here. So let me just rotate this. Okay, and also position it just behind my source so that our particles can follow properly. Then I will just drag in our FumeFX birth and FumeFX follow and our speed and position icon. Okay, so let me connect this, and for FumeFX birth I'll select my FumeFX container. Also for FumeFX follow we'll need to select that. Okay, once that's done, I want to image up to 53 and let's have a preview. Okay, so you can see that our particles are moving along with our smoke simulation. You can see that. Okay, so now let me just decrease my viewport count, maybe up to 1, so that we'll have very less particles into our viewport. So we'll be playing around with lots of particles, so we will have to reduce that. So let me just bump this up to maybe 10,000 for now. Okay, it's updating. Okay, okay, now I'll just set my color to maybe about kind of red. Okay, don't worry, we'll just color them, the particles, later on using Krakatoa. So let me now bring my Krakatoa to front. Okay, wait for a while. Okay, it's loaded now. Also I'll add in a light into my scene, just add a dark omni light. It's pretty easy. Okay, since our PS source we are putting lots of particles, so it's taking a time, so let me just reduce this to 5,000 for now. Okay, now we'll just render out our scene quickly. Krakatoa is actually pretty fast, but due to our PF source it's taking some time to update, so it's taking time. So now you can see that we have rendered our particles using Krakatoa. It is just a basic rendering. You can also use some settings inside it to get some pretty result, like emission, and also you can reduce these settings right here. Use around maybe 0.3. Just play around with them. You can get pretty good results. Let me render it out. Okay, very light. Now you can increase the particles count from particle view right here, maybe about 1 million maybe. Okay, so it will take some time to update. Okay, now let me render them out. As we go on increasing our particle count, the more time it will take to update for our PF source, but our rendering time will be almost the same. Krakatoa takes millions of particles and render them in no minute. Okay, still updating. Taking a lot of time. Okay, here is what we have got now. So it's looking much more better than before as we have more particles. So since P flow takes a lot of time to update, we have got a feature in Krakatoa called partitioning. So this will allow our particles to generate more particles. Like we have 1 million particles right now, and from partitioning we can get millions and millions of particles. So since PFlow cannot handle that large amount of particle, like it cannot handle 10 or 20 million particles, it takes a lot of time since it is a single threaded. So we'll be using our partitioning features inside Krakatoa to save our particles and later on use it for rendering. So for that we need to go ahead and set our path in save particles. So let me just save my particles into a new folder. Okay, let me click here new and just create a name to it. Okay, we'll just save it in here. Okay, once that's done, we can go down here and partition count, you can just increase it to 10, 15 or so. The more you increase this, the more particles you'll get, and also the more time it will take. And also you need to have lots of disk space free for this, because it will create a very heavy size of files, maybe about 40 or 50 gigabytes. Okay, so I'll just put it at 10. Also, I may not do complete partitioning. Then you can just go ahead and generate all, click this button called generate all partitions locally. Yes, if you do that, okay, it will just update for a while and then start rendering. Okay, I will just stop this as soon as it starts, and we'll just be using our previous partitioning that I have done. Still, I have just done only 3 partition in that as well, but we'll just be using that one for demonstration purpose. I don't want to waste time right now. Let it be started first. Okay, 75%. Few more seconds. Okay, it's started and it have started to save particles. So I'll just cancel this and okay, since I already have that, cancel. Okay, no problem for that. Okay, now let me go to my disk drive, Krakatoa. So to it we had we didn't save any data. So previously I have some partitions data saved. I actually was about to render 15 partitions, but I only stopped at 3 partitions, and it will work pretty fine. But we'll have less particles, that's it, but it will work for demonstration purpose. So we'll load this data into our scene. Okay, so let me just reset our scene. We won't be needing this anymore, but still let me save this data to my desktop. FumeFX Krakatoa. Okay, and then let me just reset it. Yes. Okay. Oops, an error has occurred. Okay, I'm just reopen my 3ds Max. Okay, that once that we have finished partitioning, you can now load that data using Krakatoa PRT loader. You can also create this from here, Krakatoa and PRT loader. So you can do either way. Just drag it into your viewport and it will automatically open up a window where you can load your particles. So I have got into the right folder, Krakatoa test save, where I had my previous partition data. Okay, I'll just select one and then just open. So it says here we have 15 sequences. Yes. Since I had done only 3 partitions, other were not found, so I can just select those and add selected partitions. Well, it will take some time to load. Let's wait for a while. Okay, now you can just select your partitions and add selected partitions. Now you'll have your particles into your scene. Okay, and it is now pretty fast, so it's not updating anymore. So since it's my previous data, it's different than what we did before, but it's similar. You can just save your partitions and just load them in the same way. So these particles will have a color from our particle from PF source, the whatever color we have choose right there. So you can again now go ahead and do a render. Sorry, I need to set my Krakatoa first. Yes, and then I can just render it. Oops. Okay, I need to add a light into my scene as well. So let me add a spotlight. Uh, okay. Let me position my light up a little bit better. Okay, I think this will be fine. Let's move back to perspective again, and then let me now render my scene. Okay, so we have got lots of particles at the moment. So now what we'll do is play around with some settings right here. Okay, we'll use emission and also final pass density. Let me reduce that to 0.2 and density expand maybe -3, and let me now render it out. Okay, okay, so now we have got a really cool effect. Okay, it's looking pretty good. The next thing we'll do is we'll add in a modifier to our PRT loader. So this is what our, if you select all this container, it will just select your PRT loader. So this is kind of your particles. So we'll add in a Krakatoa channel modifier to our PRT loader. Then we can open up our magma flow editor, which is a very powerful tool as well. So from here we can do lots of stuff. So you can color your particles based on your velocity and so on. So for now we'll just do a quick and simple way. So we'll just choose this in color and change the channel name to normal. Okay, so now you can see that you're normal for your particles. Then we can go ahead and apply a material. Oops. Okay, it's getting bigger. Okay, now I'll add a gradient ramp. Okay, I can just drag it and apply it. Okay, then let me just render it out again. Okay, now we have got nothing. Okay, because we need to change this mapping to vertex color channel and then reapply it, and let me do a render again. Okay, now you can see that we have got a different color. So now we'll play around here, a few reddish color maybe, and this one yellowish. It's kind of a bluish color. Okay, let's see how this gonna look now. Okay, now we have got our color mixed up like this. So you can just now play around with these colors right here. Maybe pinkish, and add in some more color. Here as well, maybe green. Okay, then render out. You can get some really cool result with this. Okay, looking good. You can also play on with emission strengths, maybe 0.3. Also you can use your shadows. Okay, 0.4, maybe 3. Okay, reduce this one as well and render it out. Okay, that's it. So you can color your particles in that way, or you can also go ahead with some extreme setups on creating your color based on velocity and so on. You can find some tutorials for those as well over YouTube or internet. You can just search around. You have got lots of nodes right here, arithmetic nodes and so on. So you can do a lot with that. Let me just update so that I can see my color into my viewport as well. Okay, so next you can just go ahead and render out. You can just go ahead and simply set up your scenes from here, active time segment and so on, and just hit render. Then you'll have these particles and you can do anything with it into your compositing software like After Effects or Nuke, Fusion, whatever you like. So I hope you guys have learned something from this. Since it was just kind of a random or freestyle tutorial, I didn't go anything production based, but for those who are new to Krakatoa, it's a really good start for them. So they can use their FumeFX simulations and just convert them into particles and get some really cool effects. So playing around with this, you can create a few effects like ink dropping effects and many more. I hope you guys like it. We'll be back soon with some more tutorials coming ahead on RealFlow as well. Maybe after one or two tutorials, I'll also be publishing a RealFlow tutorial. Sorry. So hope to see you guys next time. Have a great time.